बात है अर्ली 1990s की। इंडिया वाज गोइंग थ्रू अ टफ इकोनॉमिक पीरियड। देश के पास सिर्फ 3 हफ्तों के फॉरेक्स रिजर्व बचे थे एंड इट वाज ऑन द ब्रिंक ऑफ बैंक्रप्सी।
भारत के लिए ये सबसे मुश्किल दौर था। इस हाल में दिल्ली के वित्त मंत्रालय में एक अहम मुलाकात हुई।
सिचुएशन इतनी खराब थी दैट फॉरेन लोन्स चुकाने के लिए रिजर्व बैंक ऑफ इंडिया को 67 टन्स ऑफ गोल्ड यूनियन बैंक ऑफ स्विट्जरलैंड एंड बैंक ऑफ इंग्लैंड में गिरवी रखना पड़ा था।
हम इंटरनेशनल बैंक में अपना सोना गिरवी देंगे तो उसके एवज में हमें फॉरेन एक्सचेंज मिल जाएगा।
अगर हम हमारे आज को उन दिनों से कंपेयर करें, देन आवर सिचुएशन हैज ग्रेटली इम्प्रूव्ड। हमारे एजुकेशन लेवल्स, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, फॉरेन इन्वेस्टमेंट्स एंड हेल्थ केयर फैसिलिटीज सिग्निफिकेंटली बढ़ गए हैं।
India will be the third largest economy soon.
The economy grew by 8.4%.
कृषि हो, उत्पादन हो, सर्विस सेक्टर हो, खनन हो, भारत हर तरफ से बढ़ भी रहा है।
But there's one sector in which we are struggling very hard, and that is female workforce participation.
Less than 10% of women are part of the formal workforce, from close to 20% early.
1990s में जो फीमेल वर्कफोर्स पार्टिसिपेशन रेट 37% था, सैडली वो आज बस 19% है।
There's been a decline in women's participation rates, which is worrying because it gives a very strong message that it is the women who are the caregivers.
China, with its powerhouse economy, has 64% of its women working, and the US has over 56%. पर हमारी रैंकिंग इस लिस्ट में इतनी लो है that countries like Nepal and Bangladesh are miles ahead of us.
According to the International Labour Organization, India ranks 11th from the bottom on a worldwide index of females in the workforce, below countries like Bangladesh and Nepal.
गर्ल्स को इंफीरियर माना जाता था लड़कों के हिसाब से, उनको सिर्फ घर के काम करने में ही लगाया जाता था। लड़कियों का हालत ऐसा था कि घर के काम सुबह करते थे और दिन भर स्कूल, पढ़ाई लिखने का भी उनको टाइम नहीं रहता था। तो मुझे इन सब में पढ़ना नहीं था, इसलिए मैंने सोचा कि अभी पढ़ लोगी तभी कुछ तो होने वाला है, नहीं तो इनके जैसा ही हालत होगा। फिर गांव में शादी करा दी जाएगी, खेतों में काम करना पड़ेगा।
From the very beginning, India has been a socially conservative country. Women's को लेकर हमारे cultural beliefs इतने deeply rooted हैं that in a family unit, a woman's role is majorly confined to that of a housekeeper and a primary caregiver. Population Foundation of India के executive director पूनम मुत्रेजा कहती हैं कि whether you are illiterate or you are very literate, social norms in India actually almost dictate that a woman's role is to be a homemaker. इस stigmatization के पीछे का one of the reason है कि हम इंडियंस ये बिलीव करते हैं that a woman's participation in the workforce will negatively impact the well-being of the entire family, domestic activities and the upbringing of children. पर इसका मतलब ये भी नहीं है कि women are just sitting at home and doing nothing. They are heavily involved in cooking, laundry, house maintenance and caring for children as well as the elderly. और तो और particularly rural areas में women also collect fuel, firewoods, look after planting, animals as well as the harvesting of agricultural farms. भले ही ये सारे काम एक फैमिली के लिए डायरेक्ट वे में इनकम ना जनरेट करती हो, but they are definitely expenditure saving work, as here the women are replacing the expenses of the family with their economic activities. But sadly, all of these different kind of services becomes invisible to the society. Women neither get paid nor get recognized for their efforts to the household.
In India, it's a status symbol for men and for households to say that my wife doesn't work. If we look at urban women and how they spend their time, they spend about 7.5 to 8 hours per day doing domestic work.
World Economic Forum के हिसाब से तो if our government start compensating the unpaid work done by Indian women in the same way as paid work, then it would contribute more than $300 billion to India's economic output. But contrary to popular belief, in several households, it's not men, but many women themselves prefer to follow these traditional gender roles. उन्हें अंदर ही अंदर ये लगता है that it's their prime responsibility to take care of the family. Indian women perform most of this unpaid work very willingly and it provides great satisfaction to them. इस thought process के पीछे एक रीजन शायद ये हो सकता है कि the Indian women do not recognize the benefits of economic independence. Most of them are raised in an environment that doesn't encourage or equip them to flourish in the professional world. Moreover, the majority lack the confidence needed to cultivate the necessary skills for professional success. पर जो लेडीज सोसाइटल कंडीशनिंग को फाइट करके वर्कफोर्स ज्वाइन करती भी हैं, एक पॉइंट के बाद वो भी अपने लाइफ से कुछ खास सेटिस्फाइड नहीं रहती. दिस पैराडॉक्स कैन बी बेटर अंडरस्टूड विद द हेल्प ऑफ ए कॉन्वर्सेशन इन अ चार्टर्ड बस बिटवीन टू इंडियन वुमेन. ये दोनों लेडीज वर इन देयर मिड 40s and looked like junior bank staff. These women were discussing how their friends who married men who could support them financially made a better deal, as now these women have two jobs, one at work and another at home. It's because Indian men typically do not share household or childcare responsibilities. They seem to get so tired at work that they have no strength for household work in a double income household. और जो ladies अपने in-laws के साथ joint families में रहते हैं, they face more discrimination as the division of labor is even more unequally distributed. Sadly, this is the dark side of Indian families. हमारे देश में for every 36 minutes of unpaid care work a man does, a woman does more than 6 hours. इसका मतलब a woman performs around 10 times the amount of unpaid work than her male counterpart. जहां Western countries में women's workspace related issues are unequal pay, late meetings and gender discrimination, हमारे यहाँ things are entirely different. Majority of the Indian women reported that their home place being the biggest roadblock to work. Even though the family likes the income, yet is unwilling to give up on household work, childcare and elder care duties.
कि बच्चों को नहीं देखती, ये नहीं देखती, फिर मैंने भी डिसाइड किया कि करके भी वैल्यू नहीं है ना, क्या फायदा करके भी। मैं सुबह जाती थी, शाम को आती थी, प्लस इनका सुनना, बच्चों का करना। फिर मैंने भी डिसाइड किया जो होगा सो होगा। मैंने भी फिर रीजन देके छोड़ दिया।
Unable to cope up with such demanding responsibilities at home, कई लेडीज शादी या बच्चे होने के बाद मजबूरन काम पे जाना छोड़ देती हैं. As equal work sharing at home for a two-income household will not come without a struggle, and it's far easier to drop out than fight. Lack of woman-friendly jobs is another big yet the neglected problem of our society. हमारे देश में day by day the working age population is growing very rapidly, but the employment hasn't kept up with it. इंडिया की तरह ही कुछ साल पहले तक China was also facing the lack of female workforce participation. The Chinese society shares similar patriarchal attitudes with India, yet they have managed to boost women's work to such high levels because their economy is creating job opportunities. And just focusing on women's issues on a very surface level without focusing on their job creation is not a very good strategy. Last कुछ सालों में हमारे देश में मेजरली ओला उबर ड्राइवर और जोमेटो स्विगी डिलीवरी पार्टनर्स जैसे गिग जॉब्स क्रिएट हुए हैं, which haven't really suited the country's women. This type of irregular work, which is often conducted during unsociable hours, is not appropriate for the cultural expectation of an Indian woman. In rural areas, women often participate in agricultural and blue-collar work. These kind of jobs are mostly marginal, low-paying, insecure, and back-breaking. Situation is somewhat better in big cities as the opportunities are more diverse. Nidhi Mishra, जो कि एक 30-year-old HR consultant है, says that I was managing the acquisition of talent, including retention and employee engagement. I found women dropped out because they are not being able to balance their personal lives. While I was trying to retain women, I was myself struggling and decided to quit. But I am willing to work after a gap of 1 to 2 years. I will look for a part-time role where I can utilize my experience and skill set wisely. और ये सिर्फ अकेली निधि की स्टोरी नहीं है. It's the story of every other well-qualified woman. In tier 1 cities, women often take a break from their career post-marriage or pregnancy. पर ये break उनकी नजर में permanent नहीं होती. They would like to get back to work someday, but need a job that will provide better work-life balance, enabling them to devote time to their family. I miss the adrenaline rush of working at a newspaper. I miss waking up every morning and heading off to work. I was on a journey with my job, but now my journey ends when I drop my son off at school and resumes when I pick him up. ऐसा कहना था दिव्यानी का, जो कि एक मुंबई बेस्ड जर्नलिस्ट थी. She had left the newsroom 7 years ago after the birth of her son. Divyani decided to put her career on the back burner as she was concerned for her child's security. She wasn't comfortable with leaving her son at a daycare or with a nanny. पर उनके इस parenting choice की वजह से she is now feeling vacuum and restlessness. Our society often stereotypes working women as bad or irresponsible as parents. उन्हें हर वक्त ये ताने पड़ते रहते हैं that their kids are being neglected, which makes them feel really bad. Absence of suitable childcare is one of the prime reasons why most working mothers decide to quit their jobs.
We found the top reason for a good 47% of women is that they need to take care of their child.
First of all, आज की डेट में there are very limited number of day care facilities in India, और जो भी उनमें से अच्छे क्वालिटी के हैं they are mostly situated in tier 1 cities and are quite expensive. As a result, only the urban Indians from higher income groups are able to afford them, and sadly people from the lower class struggle here also. After getting married, Leela Devi came to Delhi with her husband, determined to work and save enough money to have a house in their home village. But she had 2 children within the next 5 years, putting an end to all her hope. She says, "My kids were small and there was no one to look after them. In the village, we have family support. Here, I had no one to help me, so I could not work." Even in today's day and age, we Indians consider the migration from rural to urban India as a sign of progress. But this massive wave of migration out of India's countryside also have unplanned consequences for women. Often, it's a solo male worker who migrates first, leaving women and children in their ancestral village, jahan the wife effectively becomes a single parent. There, it's very common for women to work on their family farms as it's close to their home and considered safe. But the women often have less flexibility to seek paid work outside the home, as they may have to travel longer distances and public transit isn't there. When women do migrate to urban areas, most of the times they have safety concerns. They suddenly find them in an unknown environment as they don't know their neighbors and their surroundings. और अगर उनको किसी बड़े शहर में कोई जॉब मिल भी गई, they have to commute long distances or at night on public transit, which is often unreliable and considered unsafe. इन्हीं सारी reasons की वजह से some families decide that it's ultimately not worth taking the risk. So gradually, the women from rural areas start taking new forms of work, like running a small retail shop in the neighborhood or providing services to the nearby affluent households by being their house help or cook. Now the problem with these kind of jobs is that when the female labor force participation rate is calculated, large parts of the informal economy go unaccounted for, as here the women are paid smaller amounts in cash. But the problem of long distance commutes and safety concerns doesn't just exist for the rural women. Even in the urban white collar jobs, companies do not usually prefer to hire or promote women to senior leadership positions, mentioning their inability to stay late at work or travel. The Oxfam India Discrimination Report 2022 highlighted the gender pay gap in India, with women facing bias in recruitment and pay across the country. Disparities in earning were observed across casual work, regular jobs, and urban self-employment. The problem is also about the mindset, as many organizations feel there is no need to hire women when there are enough men available. Companies feel that women will come and take maternity leaves, and the scales are even more tilted against the mid-career mothers, as every year lakhs and lakhs of new graduates are entering the market. Majority cases में the employers inquire thoroughly about working mothers' children, their ages, and the childcare arrangements at home.
In one of the interviews, the gentleman, a very senior professional, told me hiring you would always be a risk for me because you have given your family priority all through these years. I mean, that was the first time I'd never realized all these years that I'm going to be penalized for giving priority to my family.
Mamta Sharma, जो कि एक मुंबई-based business executive हैं, lost her job in April 2020 after India entered a strict pandemic-induced lockdown. Surprisingly, pandemic खत्म होने के बाद भी Mamta was not trying to get paid employment again. It's because she is certain to not land a job. According to her, there are many people as qualified as her, and there aren't enough jobs in the market. And even if she got a job, she would be paid much lesser than what she was making. अभी तक हमने जितने भी सारे discussions किए, in almost each and every case, knowingly or unknowingly, we have tried to put the blame on our society for the lack of female labor force participation. But there are few more data points which showcases a different angle to the story. As discussed earlier, the lack of availability of jobs is one of the major problems in India for both women and men. But there's also a huge difference in the awareness and access to information about work opportunities between both the genders. Women's network are more domestic, family, and neighbor-centric as compared to men. This distinction results in fewer social connection for women, which could have helped them access information on job vacancies and provide referrals. और अगर किसी lady को कोई work opportunity के बारे में कहीं से पता चल भी जाता है, then also she tends to apply to fewer types of jobs relative to men. Women job seekers majorly rely on traditional job methods like worksite visits as a method of job search, whereas men use multiple methods like networking, applying on online portals, attending job fairs, and cold calling. और एक स्टडी के हिसाब से तो among those who are actively looking for work, women limit job search to work opportunities within 3 kilometers of their residence, as opposed to men who are willing to consider jobs more than 6 kilometers away. In the case of online job search portals, women require more handholding to register, develop a profile, and search for specific type of jobs. और registration complete होने के बाद भी it was observed that they were less active than men when it came to searching and applying for jobs or updating their profiles. jobs. Only 33% of female profiles were in active status compared to 46% of male profiles. The majority of the female profiles remain in do not disturb status for various reasons, including not wanting to receive further calls from the platform or potential employer. All of these conclusions has been found through analysis of 6 years of data comprising approximately 60,000 individuals for both men and women from a job matching platform. In सारे gaps के पीछे का reason might be the unequal access to digital technology which are often essential for applying to jobs on these platforms. According to the 2022 GSMA Mobile Gender Gap Report, the smartphone ownership has increased across genders over the years, but in India it's more for men than women. और जिन ladies के पास smartphone का access है वो भी उसे कुछ खास productive में use नहीं करती. According to a report, men tend to utilize smartphone devices for a greater variety of purposes including calls, WhatsApp, Google searches, online payment and ticket booking compared to women who are more likely to use them for entertainment purposes on YouTube, Instagram and online shopping. और तो और डेटा के अकॉर्डिंग वुमेन के करंट अर्निंग एंड डिजायर्ड अर्निंग्स में भी बहुत बड़ा मिसमैच है. इट शोज दैट वुमेन एक्सपेक्ट 133% हायर देन द एवरेज अर्निंग्स ऑफ वर्किंग वुमेन व्हाइल द मेंस वेज एक्सपेक्टेशंस वर मोर रीजनेबल, just 8% higher than their current wages. In my home, there is still the belief that women shouldn't have to work unless it's necessary. They have now achieved a basic level of income so we can afford our wives or daughters not to work. As India gets richer, then the women's labor force participation incidentally drops. ऐसा कहना था पार्थ मुखोपाध्याय का, who belongs to the Center for Policy Research. जैसे ही एक household का income बढ़ता है and the family becomes economically stable, they expect the woman to get out of the workforce. Firstly, it's because the family can afford to do so, and secondly, culturally we Indians see women's work as a standby or emergency measure. More than 400 millions were lifted out of poverty between 2005 and 2019. This improved financial stability enables some women to prioritize their family responsibilities over pursuing employment. There is also another group of women in their 50s who have accumulated significant wealth during their careers and now have chosen to leave the workforce to complete their bucket lists. For this dropping out of workforce is a privilege which is largely restricted among the urban economically well-off women. Many households from the lower income groups struggle to meet their ends because of a single earning member. Ibrahim Naikodi, an auto rickshaw driver in Mumbai, says when inflation spiked this summer, he and his wife discussed the possibility of her working outside the home. With food prices going up, we are struggling to pay the kids' school fees. There is no way we can survive on a single income right now. ये सारी बातें तो हो गई कि हमारे देश में women काम क्यों नहीं कर पा रही. Now the question is, why should women even join the workforce? When more women participate in the labor market, not only they contribute to the economy and their family's income, but they also get a sense of achievement which boosts their self-esteem. 2018 के एक McKinsey रिपोर्ट के हिसाब से India could add more than $500 billion to its GDP by increasing its female workforce participation rate just by 10%. Having a job makes dramatic difference to a woman's life. Post the job resignation, Sheila Singh, who used to be a social worker in Mumbai, says that I never had to ask anyone for a single rupee before, but now she feels shame every time when she is forced to ask her husband. I felt independent before. See, I lost a part of myself when I quit my job. I want that feeling back. Working and earning money gives a woman the capacity to control assets, empowers her to make her own decisions, and even lowers the rate of domestic violence. Also, the girls who grow up in a household where both parents work, they are most likely to be employed later. In the case of corporate offices, women often bring new ideas on the table which their male teammates have ignored. But empowering women in the workforce requires much more than just motivation. It calls for breaking social norms, more female-friendly jobs, maternity leaves, better childcare facilities, remote work culture, better public transport, safer commutes, thoughtful policy, and gender diversity rules. The absence of these elements keep the women out of the workforce as they or their families see more benefit in taking care of the house and the child instead of slogging in a job. India की तरह ही Japan was also struggling with poor female workforce participation back in 1990s, but then it adopted womenomics as its strategy, which expanded its childcare facilities and removed tax deductions for dependent women. As a result, by 2016, Japan's female labor force participation rate went up by 66%. But all of these things require decision making on multiple levels and can't happen overnight. Hence, according to the experts, the first thing that can be done by individuals to increase female participation in the workforce is better education and skill training. While the number of women with college degrees is growing in cities and towns, access to good quality education in India's rural parts still possesses a challenge. 1 in every 4 girls get married below the age of 18. That that kills her opportunity to educate, skill and work. पर ऐसा भी नहीं कि Indian women are struggling everywhere to get jobs. There are two professional sectors in India where there has been sharp expansion in the number of women employees. First one is financial services. More than half of the companies in the Indian financial sector are led by women, and they head both the top public and private banks of our country. Another sector is aviation. From the very beginning, Indian aviation sector positioned itself as a female-friendly profession. As a result, today 11.7% of India's 5,100 pilots are women versus 3% worldwide. One of the most effective ways to increase female participation in the workforce is introduce women quotas. India's big experiment in introducing women quotas started with female school teachers back in 1980s. After so many years, due to the quota system, today education is one of the largest sector employing women. India has also successfully launched women quotas in the local elections. Research shows that in places with quotas, more women ran for office and more women won, even after the quotas were no longer in place. The increase in female elected leaders also resulted in better outcomes for women overall. More funds were spent on public goods and services that benefit women, and women were more likely to speak out about the acts of violence.